Good evening, everyone. My name is Chris Cooper, known as the Channel Guy Trader, and I am reporting to you live from Wall Street Trading Satellite Office down in sunny South Florida. Today's date is Wednesday, September the 19th, 2012, and here is today's After the Bell Market Summary. I want to first start by taking a look to see how the indices closed today. The Dow Jones closed up 13.32 points, the NASDAQ closed up 4.82, and the S&P 500 closed up 1.73 points here. Taking a look at the breadth today, kind of a mixed market today. Even though we did have more advancers than decliners, we had 3,394 stocks advancing. We had 2,792 stocks declining on the NYSE, NASDAQ, and AMEX. We did have a lot of stocks making new highs today. We had 430 issues making new highs, and we had 38 issues making new lows. Let's go ahead and start by taking a look to see how the ES daily chart is trading closed. You can see here we held above the 1450. We remain above this key trend line that we've been tracking here. All right, and as long as we can consolidate above 1450, this is just going to be a nice little another flag pattern that's probably setting up for a nice move higher. I mean, as long as we can hang above this 1450 level and hold above this trend line, all right, and we have these moving averages catching up to price action, this is just some nice consolidation, looking for a move higher. And once we can take out this little trend line in this 1460 area, we can get a nice move up in this area, up towards the top of this little channel that we're still tracking from back here in May, from the little pattern that we have right here from the breakdown from the right shoulder. So that's what's going on in the ES. If we take a look at the SPYs, all right, the SPY closed up flat today, up 8 cents here. We still remain above that trend line from the upward channel. All right, and as long as we can hang above that level right there, or even just hang above this 146, as price consolidates and the moving averages catch up, this is still looking constructive to continue to the top side. So we'll see how that turns out. And then don't forget, this week is options expirations week. So we got a lot of action that should be coming in. Some volatility should come into the market come Friday. See what we got going on here. Let's take a look at the Qs. We have the Qs closed up 13 cents today. And still trending to the top side here. Volume a little bit. We had some nice volume coming today, higher than the previous two days here. And we remain above the moving averages. Like I said, as long as we can hold above the 70-50 area, if you guys remember, 70-50 on the Qs is a 50% retracement from the tech bubble sell-off. And the next level, the 61.8% retracement, is around 82.37. So that would most likely be the next target going forward if the market continues to go to the top side. That's $10 higher, believe it or not. But that's really where all the resistance is at on the Qs. And we have some slight resistance. We have some slight resistance on the Qs around the, let's see here, going to come in around like the 79 area, or maybe even like the 77 area. But, you know, there is a lot of free room to go to the top side on the Qs. So, therefore, that's why we see Google, you know, stock like Google's making new highs here, continue to make new highs. We see Amazon shaping up pretty nice. Amazon up $2.93 today, continues to trend on that moving average right there. If you take a look at Apple today, Apple's had a flat day. Only up 19 cents, but still holding above 702. And like I said, the ranges on Apple are starting to get tight, so be careful with this if you're purchasing this up here. You know, I wouldn't recommend anybody buying the stock right now, even if it does pop up another $50 or so. I mean, it's just too risky. But because you're pretty much late to the party. But anyways, these stocks are making new highs. Let's take a look at IBM. IBM's the laggard out of those large cap tech stocks that are actually making new highs and running up pretty nice. You know, but doesn't mean that it's not going to play catch up. May need to consolidate a little bit up here, but still looking pretty good. Let me take a look at some other tech stocks here. Red Hat. Keep an eye on Red Hat. Red Hat has earnings going into Monday of next week. So let's see how this one start shaping up. You can see here it's holding this 57 level pretty good. Moving averages are kind of flat on that stock there. Facebook. Let's go ahead and talk about this Facebook. A lot of people on the Twitter stream talking about Facebook. Facebook looks pretty good to go higher. It has a resistance coming up around 24. Looks like the most likely scenario target that will hit, and it is breaking back above the 50-day simple moving averages on the daily time frame. Stock to watch the top side, and you know, we still see some weakness in crude oil. Crude oil was weak today here. All right, those energy stocks are weak as well. ExxonMobil down 1.18%. And you can see crude oil can't get back above 94. We can see this as a break of a high base range, and we could move back down towards 87 or so. Let's see here. Let's take a look at gold. GLD. GLD was flat today. Some of the miners are continuing to look good, though. GLD consolidating up here. If you take a look at the GDX, GDX was up 47 cents today. Those stocks are looking pretty good. Newmont Mining, as long as the GDX holds 53, looks pretty good. Newmont Mining flagging right here, consolidating in a high base around 56. Take a look at AEM, had a nice move today. Has a nice gap fill all the way up towards 56, about another $3.50 higher. And that's sick. So keep an eye on the miners. The miners are looking pretty good. The agriculture stocks are looking good as well. Monsanto got added to Goldman Sachs conviction buy list, and this stock held above 90, so that closed pretty good. Looking for this maybe to even consolidate a little bit more and then make a move higher. But the weekly time frame is looking good, and so is the monthly. If I was to bring this over here real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. The monthly chart, nice little upward channel. Top of that channel is all the way up here towards 95, 96 area. And then if we take a look at the weekly chart, you can see the weekly resistance really isn't up here till 119. I mean, as far as a longer time frame, we're going to have some congestion though, but this thing can start taking off here. We get some more volume in the stock, and these agricultural stocks start moving higher. This could definitely get some traction. Potash was at a key inflection point. Trend line finally broke here. Look for potash to continue higher, breaking this little downward channel right here. That looks pretty good. Nice trigger over 43.68. Nice little cup and handle action right there off of this little prior week, 6-week action there. AGU is another strong stock in that sector. Had a little pause day today, but definitely keep an eye on this one as well, along with CF. All right, CF looking good. Looks like it wants to go up there and make new all-time highs again here, which is around the high of 228. And you could take a look at Mosaic as well. MOS up 91 cents today. Needs to get back up towards the 62 level. The financials had a little pause day today. Down, Goldman Sachs down 86 cents. Look for those to pull back a little bit. Most likely, that could definitely happen. Maybe Goldman Sachs may want to pull back towards this 114.52 area. Who knows? But just use these moving averages, 8 EMA and the 8 SMA as a gauge. Goldman Sachs. Let's take a look at J.P. Morgan. All right, and J.P. Morgan is hanging in there, holding above this 41 level. All right, use this little pivot low down here of 40.67 as a level to watch on J.P. Morgan. Bank of America, BAC. All right, BAC still hanging above its moving averages, little fast-term moving averages right there. Now, since Facebook is running, let's take a look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn's been in play as well, and this one's a pretty strong stock. And let's take a look at this one on the 60-minute chart. See how it's looking. All right, and I would say maybe as long as it can consolidate above this 122 level, it'll look pretty good. 122 is the level to watch in that, along with this 120.50 area. All right, so that's LinkedIn. One of the stocks that we called on the chat room to the short side, I'm pretty sure everybody's been talking about this on the stream, was Q-Core. Q-Core, we had the news come out. First of all, I was going off on the high and low tick of one of my partners, one of the moderators in the chat room. And then, next thing you know, some news comes out saying that Aetna was not going to cover one of their drugs. So therefore, that's not good because that's one of their biggest drugs. And if the Aetna doesn't cover it, maybe the other health insurance companies may not cover the drug as well. So this stock lost like about 50% of its value today. We caught it for a short around 45. To be honest with you, of course, I didn't trade it down all the way and catch a whole move. I did make some money on it, but it wasn't an easy trade for the fact that some people got hurt trying to play it on the bounce when it was going down, trying to bottom pick there. Nobody in particular from our side, but that's, there were some people that did get hurt in the stock. Some of my other friends that trade that, I know they didn't do that good in the stock. And that just goes to show you why you have to be careful when these stocks have this type of news and the stocks get smashed. And, you never try to pick a bottom because you never know what can happen. But anyways, the stock made a nice move to the downside. We called it out in the chat room for a short at 45. One of the traders bought the puts on it. I'm not sure what strike he bought, but I know he bought them around $2, and he closed them out at $14, $13 out. So just imagine how much those puts are up today. If I could look at the puts right now, they're up like 3,000%. Even some are up 9,300%. So just a crazy day in that stock. Be careful with that stock if you plan on trading it tomorrow. You have to be really careful. Make sure you just lower your share size and manage your risk accordingly because that stock can hurt you. There's a couple people on the trading desk that got hurt in that stock. So anyways, that's one stock that's going to be in play tomorrow. Lulu had a nice little update today after selling off yesterday. off the rumor that David Einhorn was short the company or going to short the company. Keep an eye on this stock. Use this yesterday's low around 73.51 as level, and then to watch this 78. So those are a couple of hot stocks that are in play. I believe we were watching Caterpillar today as well. Caterpillar broke over 94, but couldn't hold above it, but still looking pretty decent. And that one's holding above the 200-day exponential moving average, with the 200-day simple moving average up here around 96.60, which could possibly be a target. And what else did I want to take a look at? That's really about it today, guys. Well, actually, not really. Let's take a look at the IWM real quick. Want to see how the IWM, the small caps, are hanging in there. All right, still holding above that 84.50 level down there. And then if we take a look at the VIX, and still holding above the moving averages. And if we take a look at the VIX, remember, one thing we're watching for on the VIX is to see if it's going to make a move down here towards the bottom of the channel. If it breaks this 1331 level on the VIX, the target on the VIX is going to be down here towards the bottom of the channel. And that'll be a great area to start picking some VXX calls or some buying volatility down there. But another thing too is that if the market continues to like trade sideways to higher and the volatility index does not break down, well, that means this is holding a higher bid, and it's going to be like a little nice area to start accumulating as well. And this could show, basically give us a clue that the market wants to get some selling pressure while everything's looking kind of like a little divergence tool. The market's going up and the VIX is not going down. That means people are kind of holding a bid in the VIX and starting to accumulate some volatility. So we'll see how that plays out again. But the VIX does sell off. The market get a nice little push up higher, which it could have one more leg in, as we are flagging on the ES daily chart. And if that takes place, the VIX will probably most likely trade down to 11, which would be a new 5-year low or something of that nature. And it's just gonna be a good area to try to pick up some volatility. How low can it go? Anyway, guys, hope you guys had a great trading day. I'll definitely catch you guys in the trading room tomorrow. If you have not been to the trading room, please go to wallstreettrading.com. Fill out the form on the right-hand side for the 14-day free trial to My Wall Street TV, and you will have the code emailed to you and get access to the trading room, where we have great calls like Q-Core today, which a lot of traders made some coin in that. And it was a good trade, especially if you bought the puts, like one of the traders done in the chat room. So have a great day, guys. Catch you guys tomorrow bright and early at 8:30. Later.